What's up everybody, Darty B here. Today I'm going to be sharing my personal ranking of every battle theme in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. This isn't meant to be an analysis of which themes are objectively best, and I don't expect everyone watching this video to agree with my placement for every song, but I thought this video could be a lot of fun for both you all and myself, and so I couldn't resist the temptation to make it. I ranked the songs based upon memorability, overall mood, and how they directly affected my experience in Monster Hunter World. Keep in mind that, in my opinion, Monster Hunter World and the Iceborne expansion have some of the greatest video game music ever written, and I wouldn't say that there's a single bad song on this list. Please don't be bothered if your favorites didn't score well in my ranking. In fact, I actually have a poll that I'm conducting right now, where I want as many people in the community as possible to give their personal scores for every song I talk about in this video, and I also have polls where you can share your ratings for every monster in the game. I'm doing those in collaboration with another guy who's part of the community. I would love for you to go and take those surveys, and I'll make videos with the community scores once we get a good number of responses, so share them around to get as many people as possible involved, please. Now, onto my rankings. I won't be including music that isn't originally from Monster Hunter on this list, so no Witcher, Final Fantasy, or Street Fighter stuff here. All of the songs in this ranking can be heard in combat while taking on a full-time or event quest from the standard quest board. Here we go. Number 57. Hoarfrost Reach Small Monsters. I don't have much to say about this song. If you listen to the full version on Spotify, it does have a really nice rendition of the Iceborne theme mixed into it, but you never really get to hear that in-game, and it just doesn't make as much of an impression as some of the other songs on this list. Not a bad song by any means, but it gets so much better. 56. Ancient Forest Small Monsters. This song is nothing special, and has a bit of a strange, constant swell and fade that some might find a bit arrhythmic, but it has a nice bit of nostalgia as the first theme you ever hear on a hunt in Monster Hunter World. 55. Wildspire Waste Small Monsters. This song has a pleasantly ominous beginning that escalates into a nice musical section overall that carries a bit more energy than the previous songs on the list, but ultimately doesn't have much that sets it apart from the songs higher up on the list. 54. Ancient Forest Medium Monsters. This song is essentially a direct upgrade from the Small Monsters theme, but most of what makes that song nothing too special also carries over to this one. It does carry a bit more energy, and if I remember correctly, it plays alongside your first ever large monster hunt with Great Jagras, so it has a bit of nostalgia going for it. Number 53. Rotten Vale Small Monsters. This song has lots of energy and character, especially for being a small monster theme, and it has a particularly exciting bit in the middle. It's nothing too amazing, but its characteristics put it above the other songs we've heard so far. 52. Elder's Recess Small Monsters. While it begins in an unassuming manner, this song has an excellent energy to it as it gets going that honestly isn't too far off from the main Elder's Recess theme. For this, it beats out everything we've looked at so far. 51. Coral Highlands Small Monsters. This is my favorite of the small monster themes from the base game. The mysterious strings produce an excellent progression throughout the song that adds tension and excitement to the battles against Shamos in the Coral Highlands, and since Shamos are among the more aggressive and threatening small monsters, this makes sense, which I think is pretty cool. Number 50. Elder's Recess Medium Monsters. This one scores just barely higher than the Small Monsters theme for the Recess, because it really isn't much of an upgrade. It's a lot higher energy, but it doesn't really have the pizzazz that a lot of other medium themes have, and for that it earns its place here. 49. The Guiding Lands Small Monsters. I absolutely adore the Guiding Lands and its theme, and getting to hear it incorporated here on a much more obscure scale with beautiful, mysterious instrumentation makes this song my absolute favorite of all the small monster themes, even if it may not be as unique or high energy as some of the others. 48. The Savage Boa Boa. This song has an extremely unique sound to it that is completely unlike anything else in the game. It's fun to listen to, but it likely won't get you too hyped up, and it isn't something that's notable enough for me to think about it fondly, so it doesn't really get a spot any higher than this. Number 47. The Savage Gajalaka. This song sounds a lot different from the Boa Boa theme, but it's generally the same in terms of what it actually kind of elicits inside me. It shows the character of the Gajalaka well, but outside of that it doesn't really feel noteworthy to me. 46. Coral Highlands Medium Monsters. Although the Small Monsters theme from the Coral Highlands stands out above most of the other small monster themes, the medium theme from this location isn't as much of a standout for me. It does have some great themes in the middle, though. As most of the medium and small monster themes tend to be, it just doesn't carry the energy that I love so much in some of the higher ranked songs. 45. Wildspire Waste Medium Monsters. This one is just barely higher than the Coral Highlands medium theme for me. Both have their own great and lackluster moments. I just like the patterning and energy of this song a little bit more. 44. Arena Small Monsters. Though this is called a small monster theme, it plays when you fight medium monsters in the arena, so I consider it to be more of a medium theme. It has a really fun and vibrant energy at the beginning that makes it super unique compared with a lot of the songs we've seen so far, and that's why it lands the number 44 spot. Number 43. Rotten Vale Medium Monsters. Although it can't quite match the energy of many of the higher ranking pieces, the thrumming strings and crescendos of this piece place it higher in my mind than the songs we've heard so far. This may be a medium theme, but I think it's not far off many main monster themes, and for that, it earns its place here. Number 42. Guiding Lands Medium Monsters. For the same reason that I love the Guiding Lands Small Monsters theme, I absolutely love this medium theme, not so much because of its own merits, but because it is so very much like the main theme for the Guiding Lands. I have a major soft spot for that music, and it's definitely showing in the ranking. Number 41. Arena Large Monsters. We finally arrive at our first theme that plays when a properly threatening monster faces you. While this song carries a lot of power and energy in places that I love, it lacks away in others, and it makes it feel almost like a medium monster theme more than a large monster theme. And for that, it stays closer to the bottom of the list. Number 40, The Howling Lone Wolf, which is Xenojiva's theme. This song is very unique, and I'm sure for veterans of the series it likely has a much different meaning than it does to me. I don't really dislike any of the songs on this list, but Xenojiva's theme has never been one that really pops out as a great song to me. Its best trait is certainly how effectively it conveys the demented and savage nature of Xenojiva, but outside of this, it doesn't really appeal to me all that much. Number 39, Blood Red Horn, which is apparently Monoblos' theme, although it was the default theme that played in the Dunes area of some of the older games. This song was added to Monster Hunter World very recently, just like another song with the Monster Hunter Movie Quest collaboration, and I actually had to add both of them in after I'd initially done the rankings, but I think it fits nicely here. This theme isn't bad by any means, and it certainly isn't bad to listen to, but it just doesn't feel memorable to me like a lot of the songs you'll see higher up on this list, so I put it here. My opinion on this one is really fresh though still, since I am pretty new to the series. I played a little bit of Freedom Unite, but I've played a whole lot more World than any other Monster Hunter game, and so it might just be that I haven't fallen in love with this song yet because I just haven't heard it very much. 38. Guiding Lamp to the Otherworld, which is Xenojiva Phase 1. This song does a really good job of making your first moments with Xenojiva feel distinctly alien and foreign compared with every hunt you've done so far, and it does a great job of that. I already said that, haha. However, it isn't really a song that I ever look forward to hearing if I ever for some reason hop into a standard Xeno hunt, and for that I just don't see it fitting any higher on the list. Overall, it does its job very well, but it doesn't go above and beyond like so many of the songs above it. 37. The Beast Bears Its Fangs, which is Tigrex's theme. A lot of you probably disagree with this appraisal of Tigrex's theme, and while this is a relatively low ranking, I will say that from here onward we go from ranking music that isn't just good, but truly great. Tigrex's theme conveys the power and menace of the monster very well, and the theme stands out to me in my memories of my first ever Tigrex hunt as a defining element in the tension and feeling of danger. However, it's a little bit too brash and angry sounding for me to really vibe to it, and as a result, it isn't one of my favorites. I know, that sounds kind of silly, but it's subjective stuff, am I right? Number 36, Forces of Land and Life. This is the main theme for Monsters in the Elder's Recess, and it certainly doesn't slouch in any way. However, the more that I hunt monsters in this location that never change regions like Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos, the more this theme feels repetitive and lacking in the same energy over time that many other themes carry. It only barely beats out Tigrex's theme in my book for its less oppressive atmosphere, but it falls short of most large monster themes. I really would have loved to like this theme more, as the Elder's Recess is a really cool locale, but it just doesn't do it for me like some of the others. Number 35, Beast with Fire Upon Its Back, which is Zorah Magdaros. The Zorah Magdaros fight certainly isn't one that many people look back upon with great excitement or nostalgia, but this theme is a huge part of why it initially feels so epic and grand. It incorporates the main theme of Monster Hunter World both subtly and powerfully when necessary, and though it isn't super high energy, it pushes you through the hunt slowly and surely, just as Zorah Magdaros pushes its way past everything the Commission throws at it, and for that, I rank it as a solid piece. Number 34, Dancer in the Coral Highlands. This is the main theme of the Coral Highlands, and I do love its more elegant and refined flavors compared with many of the other themes in the game. I just don't like it quite as much as some of the others. The highlight of this song is definitely the percussion, which brings a tropical vibe that uniquely cements the song as a staple of the Coral Highlands and a key part of why hunts here feel the way they do, even if it isn't one of my personal favorites. Number 33. This song actually has two names that have been associated with it. One of them is from in-game, one of them is from Spotify, and it is the Voracious Devil, or the Demonic Glutton, which is Bazelgeuse theme. The Bazelgeuse theme feels a little bit like a cousin to the Tigrex theme. It exists to cement in your mind a knowledge of just how royally in trouble you are if you don't know what you're doing in this fight. However, this theme earns a higher spot in my ranking than Tigrex's because of how eloquently it passes themes between instruments in the middle section. Hearing a chorus of different instruments build up to a powerful climax is a lot of fun, and makes this song just enough of an improvement over the others so far to earn a spot here. Number 32, The Shadow Upon the Tempest, which is Kushala Daoray's theme. This one's an unforgettable part of fighting this monster, but it doesn't really have the swelling chords and powerful drive that many other Elder Dragon themes have. However, I don't think that was the purpose with this song. It seems to deliberately make you feel like you're within a chaotic hurricane while listening, and that makes it perfect for the Kushala fight, even if I personally don't like it as much as the other themes in this ranking. Number 31. This one's just called Roar, and apparently it's the Rathalos theme. You guys who are veterans will know it as to be the Forest and Hills theme from the old areas. This theme is really repetitive, and I understand why a lot of people in the community find it to be a bit annoying after a prolonged period of time. However, the parts that we do get to hear are powerful and compelling in their musical depiction of Rathalos, and I think that people who are hunting a Rathalos for the very first time back in the Forest and Hills area were definitely impacted in some way or another by this theme, as they hunted what was one of the hardest monsters in the original game. Number 30, Golden Mane, the Rajang theme. With this theme, we enter the top 30 and start to see some very powerful and compelling competition. Rajang's theme is quite literally a powerhouse, and it never loses its energy and drive. While I do love the overall beat and the drums, the instrumentation outside of the main repeating theme doesn't quite leave the same impression as the songs you'll see ranked higher than this. However, Rajang's theme will forever remain in my heart as the best evil Donkey Kong music you'll ever hear. Number 29. From the Rumblings Come a Song, which is the Shara Ishavalda Phase 1. I'm not a tremendous fan of how the song starts out, as it begins quite slow and without a main motif to drive forward, it seems like. But as it progresses, the song just gets better and better. It hints toward what may be lying beneath Shara's shell, while also highlighting the sheer power and force that you are facing in the moment, and I love the tension that it brings to the fight. As the song peaks with the overall theme of Iceborne, you know that you're in for an absolutely epic fight, and the next phase scores even higher. Bet you can't guess where I ranked it. Number 28, Spark of Blue, the Zinogre theme. I know that a lot of people find Zinogre theme to be one of the best in the game without question, but for me, it just isn't quite what I like. While the musical ideas and patterns within it are unquestionably excellent, I'm not a huge fan of the electric guitar and the buzziness that it brings to the theme. I do think that it fits Zinogre well, but I don't feel like it necessarily fits the rest of the song, and so for that I rank it here. Personal preference for instrumentation plays a big part in the ranking from just my own personal preference, that's all I can say. Number 27, Red Glare in the Darkness, the Nargacuga theme. This is also likely to arouse some controversy in the community, but hey, at least it's in the top 50%, right? Jokes aside, Nargacuga's theme is fantastic, and I love listening to it. It's full of energy and speed, and it complements Nargacuga as a monster wonderfully. The thing about this song is that it tends to kind of fade into the background with a lot of my Nargacuga hunts. It isn't quite enough of a bop for me to hear and pay attention to the song the whole time while fighting the monster, like with many of the higher ranking themes on this list. Number 26, Murmurs from the Land Forbidden, the Rotten Vale theme. This is definitely one that I've grown to love more and more over time. I didn't initially like the spooky sounds of the beginning very much, but now that I've heard it more, the contrast between the more abnormal sounds and the powerful orchestral track is chilling and powerful in a way that's tough to put into words. I think that this song has some of the coolest variation and progression we've heard so far today, and for that, it snags this spot. Number 25, How Life Springs Anew, which is Xenojiva Phase 2.
This song is pretty much here for its nostalgia power. Hearing the instruments pass the main theme of Monster Hunter World between them as you take down a threat that is of magnitudes greater than anything you've yet faced is thrilling and powerful. While the song overall may not be as good as even some entries lower on the list, the way that it triggers memories of your time in Monster Hunter World during the climax of High Rank just barely earns it a spot in my top 25. Number 24. Morning Star of the Dark Tide, the Namielle theme. Namielle's theme is another that I initially wrote off as being kind of average, but the more that I hear it, the more I fall in love. For one, the overall atmosphere of the song is perfect for Namielle. It feels fluid and unpredictable, much like the ocean, and alternates between tranquil beauty and powerful swells that highlight the alien beauty of Namielle and her powers. Wow, I just said beauty twice. Great job. Much like the ocean, the song changes its mood quickly, and I love that so much. This song marks where we truly enter a realm of fantastic music. Number 23. Rulers of the Wildspire. The general combat theme for the Wildspire Waste is incredibly good. The throbbing bass and rapid drumming provides a drive and power to the song that is beautifully contrasted by the singing of the piccolo and violins above the forest beneath. This is one of the best desert combat themes that I think the Monster Hunter series has ever had, capturing the beauty of the desert and the power of the creatures within almost without equal. Number 22. Keeper of Hades, the Vaal Hazak theme. Vaal Hazak is one of the most interesting and different monsters in the game, and its aesthetic is one that is generally darker than most in Monster Hunter as a general rule. The theme that accompanies Vaal Hazak is tremendously interesting though, and that it doesn't only communicate to the listener about the dragon's decayed and festering powers and appearance, but also carries a bright and beautiful melody in places. This contrast makes for a unique feel and energy that is very unique, and for that it earns its place here. Number 21. The Invading Tyrant. Bazelgeuse's theme is one that only gets better the more you listen to it. It begins with a powerful fanfare to announce the entrance of a powerful new contender, and as it progresses, the sheer scale and magnitude of Bazel's powers are communicated through the song. However, this song appeals to me so very much because it also has parts similar to those in Vaal Hazak's theme, where a brighter and more beautiful melody emerges. These pieces of elegance help you to see the monsters as more than just beasts, and when paired with the deliberately powerful question and answer format of the song, this makes me love this theme to death. You can bet that I've been killed while jamming to it in-game. Number 20. Ruler of the Flame. Teostra's theme starts out the top 20, and I have to say the power and majesty that this music conveys is just so good. The song has awesome progression as it goes, and every time I get to fight Teostra, it's a great compliment to its strength and regal appearance. The percussion is very unique and makes it feel like you're fighting something totally different from anything else you faced, and frankly, this is true. Teostra is a very unique elder dragon due to its fur and lionish features, and in a game full of more reptilian beasts, this theme feels very appropriate for what Teostra is. Number 19. Empress of the Flame. Lunostra's theme is a deliberate modification of Teostra's theme, and I don't have a whole lot to say about hers, other than that I like the choral voices that Lunostra's theme incorporates more than the instrumentation in Teostra's. It makes her feel even more unique and chilling to face, and I really love that. Number 18. Splendiferous Silver Sovereign. Velkhana is one of the most graceful and elegant monsters in the game, and I don't think anything could have accentuated her dance-like fighting style and flowing movements better than this theme. This is a masterful blend of piano and orchestra that seamlessly moves between motifs and ideas to make a song that is both motivating and chilling to listen to. See what I did there? Haha, puns. Really though, Velkhana is something different, and this song drives that home in a way that I adore. Number 17. Chime from a Shimmering Bell. Alatreon's theme borders on demonic, and given my history with the monster, not all my memories with this theme are happy ones. However, the song is masterfully written. The fact that this song sounds absolutely nothing like anything else in the game shows that Alatreon is like nothing you've ever fought before, and the song is paired almost perfectly with the fight's pacing. By the time I got good enough to beat Alatreon, I could tell what phase of the fight I should be in based on the music alone. It scales up with intensity, right about the point where Alatreon will start naturally flying and get enraged, and this pace matching is something that I love. The song is also beautiful despite its dark tone, which is something that is difficult to pull off, and I'm so glad the composers were able to. Number 16. Even Elder Dragons Tremble, Nergigante's theme. I still remember this song striking fear into my heart for the first time as I fought Nergigante. As a newcomer to Monster Hunter, I was unbelievably excited to be facing the game's flagship monster, which I regarded as the ultimate challenge I had faced so far. So much of this fight can be captured by the music. Nergigante has to be fought carefully, and he teaches you better than most monsters how important it is to wait for the right time to attack. The way that the song flows and carries its energy in some of the parts teaches this, along with the fight itself, which I think is a really cool pairing. Nostalgia from beating Nerg definitely plays a big part in my ranking it this high, but it really is a great theme, and I think it deserves its spot. Number 15, Savage of the Ancient Forest. I bet nobody saw this one coming in this high, but here it is. This song is absolutely fantastic and has such a powerful fanfare and energy that I can't help but smile when I hear it. Hearing it blast alongside my first ever hunt against an Anjanath is one of my favorite memories from playing through the game for the first time, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing it. This is a fantastic area theme and the perfect introduction to just how great Monster Hunter music can be for a new player. Number 14, The Scorching Blade, Glavenus' theme. Oh man, is Glavenus' theme absolutely fantastic. The way that the melody passes from instrument to instrument perfectly captures the power that Glavenus holds, alongside the grace and precision with which it wields its wickedly sharp tail. There are a few songs that have so much raw energy to them, and I think that's why I love this song so much. If I need to get hyped, this song is a go-to, and it receives a well-deserved placement at number 14. Number 13, Congregation of the Fearless. Speaking of songs with raw energy, the main combat theme of the Guiding Lands is another that absolutely blew me out of the water the first time I heard it. It starts out very relaxed, but as it progresses, it takes you on a whirlwind of a journey through the main locations of Monster Hunter World. The way that this song combines some of the greatest motifs from the other regions, while also feeling like a unique and special piece itself, earns a well-deserved spot here. Seriously, the fact that this song isn't in the top 10 is a tribute to just how good some of the music we have coming up is. Number 12, The Emperor Emerges from Under the Veil, Safi'jiiva Phase 1. Safi'jiiva's theme may have been turned into a meme by much of the community, but nothing will change my mind about how epic this theme is. As I said with Lunastra, hearing vocals in Monster Hunter World is a pretty rare occurrence, and getting to hear the choir chant about the Emperor of Elder Dragons left a huge impression on me, especially my first time encountering the monster. Safi'jiiva is no joke, and this song hammers that home. The way that this song is a natural evolution of Xenojiva's theme, yet with so much more power and intensity, is fantastic, and it's one of my favorites. Number 11, Roars Across the Hinterlands, the Hoarfrost Reach theme. Hearing this song for the first time is what made me know for a certain fact that I was getting my money's worth with Iceborne. It sounds silly, but I kid you not. The intro to the song alone is enough to raise the hairs on my arms with excitement and hype. This song is unparalleled among the general region themes for its power and energy, and even Savage of the Ancient Forest and Congregation of the Fearless can't match it. And seriously, that's saying something. I love those songs. I was a little bit hesitant about Hoarfrost Reach as a region at first, but this song turned my opinion 180 degrees in a heartbeat, and I'm so glad the composers poured so much raw energy and beauty into it. Dive bombing into the bottom of the top 10, we have Nergigante's theme, but it's made better in just about every conceivable way. This song is beautiful, inspiring, and pushes you as a hunter to be the absolute flipping best you can be. I never got good enough at the game to beat Arc-Tempered Nergigante when I was in high rank, but I knew from my attempts against it that the music was some of the best in the game. This song seriously takes the raw power and force of Nergigante's original theme and incorporates it with some seriously beautiful chords and crescendos that make this song feel like a celebration of everything you as a hunter have accomplished. This song is fantastic, and it's only getting better from here on. Number 9, The Brilliance That Rules the Everstream, Kulve Taroth's theme. I've been basing my rankings for this whole video off of titles alone, so even though this song technically has 3 distinct movements representative of the stage of Kulve Taroth you're currently fighting, I decided to rank it as one piece because the song is really greater than the sum of its parts. While the final phase is undoubtedly the best with its chilling vocals and frenetic instrumentation, the first and second phases lay the groundwork for a track that perfectly accompanies one of the most cinematic and dynamic fights in the game. Though the actual Kulve fight grows a little bit stale with time, this song will never cease to amaze and excite me. Number 8, Iceborne's End, the Arc-Tempered Velkhana theme. From the start, I can tell you that this song is absolutely amazing. The piano is already a step above the transcendent composition of the original, and makes it very clear to you as a hunter that this Velkhana is something wholly different from what you faced before. The piece also incorporates beautiful instrumentation and sequences that make Arc-Tempered Velkhana's fight into as much of a work of art as it is a hunt. Combine this with the lightning-fast moves of the monster, and the absolute precision and skill required to take it down, and you have a truly fantastic theme, at least in my book. Number 7, For the Emperor's Amusement, Safi'jiiva Phase 2. The second phase of Safi'jiiva's theme is even better than the first. As Safi runs out of space to run for you, this theme perfectly expresses the magnitude of what you are doing in taking down a beast that appears truly undefeatable. This battle is to protect the fate of the world, and is one of the greatest moments that you as a hunter have ever faced. Likewise, Safi'jiiva exposes the full magnitude of its power, and this song encapsulates otherworldly power with every beat. An absolutely fantastic theme for one of my favorite monsters, at least aesthetically and design-wise, in the game. Number 6, Brutish Indigo, the Brachydios theme. This song is one that I haven't seen getting a lot of love from the community, and I'm honestly really surprised by that. It starts off powerful and intense, conveying the sheer strength and might of Brachydios, but as it moves, it shifts, and the song seems to be cheering you on as a mighty hunter, just as much as it is heralding the beast you are fighting against. This balance of musical ideas is one that I feel doesn't happen as often in-game, and it sets this theme apart. I have put this song on repeat and listened for hours while doing homework and reading, and I think that shows just how powerful and enjoyable the song is for me. Number 5, A Single Bloom in an Eternity, Shara Ishavalda Phase 2. I feel like this song's title is fitting to just how good it is. Songs like this really do not come around often. Truly, a single bloom. The song sounds completely unique and exotic when compared with the other songs in the game, and in a way that is absolutely fantastic. The powerful brass bass instruments combined with the surging and swelling melody to produce a song that I consider to be exhilarating and a perfect match for the final boss of Iceborne. Shara Ishavalda may be lacking in speed, but this song screams power, and it certainly doesn't fall flat in that department. Number 4, Brutish Indigo Rages, the Raging Brachydios theme. This song takes everything that's good about the regular theme for Brachy and dials it up to 11. The choral voices add to the intensity and awe of what is one of the most cinematic hunts in the game, and I have to say that this one kind of flips the stakes a bit. It takes a theme that I previously said feels like it's cheering you on and makes it darker and more ominous, showing that while you may still be the hero, this time it's even more serious, and if you mess up, it's gonna hurt a lot more. Number 3. Here we go. The Legend Descends, Fatalis Phase 1. From the moment that I first heard the opening to this theme in the Fatalis trailer nearly a month before its release, I knew that the composers had outdone themselves. When Fatalis made its grand entrance through the crumbling rubble and the score swelled in its full glory in-game, I was the most hyped I have ever been while playing a video game, at least until a later song on this list started up. As far as the song itself goes, the first phase is a wonderful homage to the classic Fatalis theme, while also incorporating lots more variation and depth to the piece. A truly perfect accompaniment to one of the most difficult, breathtaking, and exciting hunts in the game. And that's only the first phase. Number 2, Limitless Courage, which is Fatalis Phase 2. The first time I heard this score, I was honestly too focused on not getting myself destroyed to notice anything about it, other than it being great and continuing to accentuate the epic and yet terrifying nature of fighting against a beast of world-destroying power. The song has moments where the terror fades away, just like Brachydios' theme, and you as a hunter are given a wonderful piece of music to enjoy that almost whispers, "You've got this, don't give up." Going back and listening to this theme after having died to Fatalis while this theme was playing countless times was incredibly nostalgic, and at that point Fatalis had been out for less than a month, so there's not a lot of time for nostalgia to build, and I'm only going to love this song more and more with time. It's just incredible, from the voices to the strings to the brass and percussion, providing an ominous drive. Words truly cannot describe the emotional meaning that this song carries after struggling against Fatalis for so long while this song was playing. It's amazing. Finally, number 1, the final confrontation, Fatalis, final phase. Here we are, everyone, the peak of the mountain, the true apex of every excellent song that we have heard on our journey to the top. Although in Iceborne the song is titled this way, those who know and love the music of Monster Hunter will recognize this song as the original version of Proof of a Hero that played all the way back during the opening cinematic of Monster Hunter on the PS2. When I pulled the Dragonator on Fatalis for the first time, I almost thought I was hearing things when I first heard the pulsating strings start to crescendo. Then as the triumphant horn cried out over the swelling buildup, I started getting incredibly excited. Finally, immediately after Fatalis' own roar after getting up, the song finally reached its moment and proudly returned the challenge. It was at this point that I vocally shouted, "Proof of a Hero!" Started shaking with excitement and got myself carded enough times to fail the quest. But I didn't care because I couldn't be more excited to relive that moment over and over and over again, because Proof of a Hero is just that good. Nostalgia plays a big part in just about everyone's love for this song, but it really is fantastic and deserves the love that it gets. In my mind, this is the best representation of Monster Hunter as a franchise that any human could ever compose in music. For me, this is the greatest battle theme in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Finally, I do have to give an honorable mention to Nay, The Honor Is All Ours, as another absolutely tremendous theme that would have definitely been in the top 3 above The Legend Descends if it played during a normally accessible quest from the standard quest board. However, I chose to leave it off the list and instead mention it here instead, because it only actually plays during one of the preset loadout arena challenge quests, and most people have never actually heard it playing in-game because of this. Aside from the devs choosing to hide it in a rarely accessed set of quests, this song is seriously brilliant, and if you've never heard the full thing before, definitely go take a listen right after you finish this video. The song is powerful, full of energy, fast, exciting, and feels like a celebration of everything you've accomplished as a hunter and a fanfare heralding the epic proportions of Monster Hunter World Iceborne and all the love that the developers poured into it. And that's the end of my personal ranking for every battle theme in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Please take the surveys that I have linked in the description so that I can make a video talking about the community's rankings for not only the battle themes like I did here, but also for the monsters. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you'll join me for my next video. Peace.